All right, now that baseball season is over, we're going to get into the hot stove. We're going to be talking about the sign-ins and who's going to be joining this New York Yankees roster in 2020 when we start off a new decade of baseball. And this news that I'm going to talk about, I'm going to go in and give you my take on this. And of course, I found out this morning, and this was reported by John Heyman, that Aroldis Chapman prefers to remain a Yankee and will pursue an extension with the team. If no extension can be done quickly, he will opt out of the $30 million and 2 years left on his contract, whereupon the Yankees will extend the 17.8 qualifying offer, which we all know he is going to decline. All right, opt out day is coming. The Yankees have already sung the na 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 hey 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 goodbye to Edron Encarnacion. Why? Because Eduardo Castellon had $20 million in his option. You know the Yankees are not going to give him that $20 million option, and why should they? Encarnacion was complete garbage in the postseason. Chapman, however, is a more interesting concept here. Ball is in his court. He's in the final stages of his 5-year, $86 million deal he signed a few years ago. And what is sitting on the table? A 2-year, $30 million opt-in. So the big question is, what is Aroldis Chapman going to do? Okay, we all love job security, right? Chapman's going to likely want that 3rd year, maybe an option for a 4th year. If he opts in, I will say it like this. I would be pretty shocked. Seriously. I mean, crazier things have happened in baseball, especially in this hot stove season. Back during this summer, Ken Rosenthal said there was a 1,000,000% chance that he was going to opt out. And don't get me wrong, despite the fact that he gave up a home run to Altuve in the ALCS, Chapman has been fantastic as a Yankee, and his numbers out of the closer position are better than pretty much everyone else's in that span. The bad news, however, for Chapman is that when you look at the market for closers, they have diminished drastically. And I'm going to give you some examples, y'all. Greg Kimbrel. Greg Kimbrel signed a 3-year, $40 million deal mid-season. Look what happened to Kimbrel this season. The dude was complete garbage. 20.2 innings. He posted a 6.53 ERA. But the question's going to be, will teams ignore Kimbrel since Chapman is still head and shoulders better and they want to offer him a bigger deal? Or are they going to be like, you know what? Let's not sign Chapman. Is Chapman good enough to reset that closer market? Look at teams like the Los Angeles Dodgers. Jensen. The guy's diminishing. He had a 3-year, $60 million deal. You look at the Padres. If the Padres decide, all right, and I'm just using this as a hypothetical. If the Padres decide, all right, you know what? Let's sign Chapman. If you have Yates and Chapman together on that roster spot, that is a pretty damn good freaking back end. Maybe the Mets, or as people call them, the New York Metropolitans, maybe they go nuts and sign Chapman. There's always teams that need a dominant closer. But at what lengths are they willing to go? I'll even say the Boston Red Sox, because the Boston Red Sox did not have a closer for this season. They didn't have a true closer. Chapman, he's going to be 32 years old in 2020. And how long can he maintain being this version of himself? Because at some point in your career, that fastball is going to fall off the table. And for any team that decides to sign Chapman when he opts out, because I think that's what's going to happen, you're going to be stuck with a power pitcher that doesn't have power. And that is the nightmare that you fear. And I'm going to give you an example. 2016, since that year, his fastball has decreased each season. 2016, 100.4. 2017, 100.1. Last season, or 2018, I should say, 98.9. This past season, 98.4. That is alarming for somebody that relies on the fastball. Okay. Now I talk about the fact that why I believe Chapman's going to opt out. Here's what I would do. If Chapman, by some miracle of a chance, opts in, that's cool. You don't have to worry about it. This organization can live 2 more years at that price. But if he opts out, adios amigo. Because I want to go anything better over 2 years for him. You got Betances. Betances, yes, he's going to be a free agent. I would sign Betances cheap. With how much of a disaster this season was, you would imagine he takes whatever you offer him and stays with this organization. I'm thinking $16 million, 2 years. You got a bullpen of Green, Ottavino, Betances, Britton, Cannell. That's going to get the job done. Zach Britton showed this past season that he's back to being his old self. You look at the stats. 61.1 innings, a 1.91 ERA. This dude was even better in the postseason. 8 innings, only gave up 1 run, 2 hits. My concern with Britton is the walks. And that's why people, and sometimes I will even say it, because all you New York Yankee fans on social media, on all the Yankee groups that I'm in, this is why I always get on him. And then you people are like, oh, why are you so negative on Zach Britton? Zach Britton is a better pitcher than anyone. He's going to be a closer. Here's the thing. He pitches to contact. And with Shifty's days, sometimes balls, they find holes in the later innings with him. Rarely, however, is he hit hard. The dude's a freaking ground ball machine. That's all you want at Yankee Stadium. You want ground balls. You don't want a ball to hit it over out of the fucking Yankee Stadium. You look at what he did this freaking season at that rate. 77.2%. If Chapman walks, I'm telling you, y'all, That dude is going to be your closer for the 2020 season. I don't see the Yankees having an issue that the Red Sox had this past season with the closing situation. The plan is simple here. Chapman opts out, let him walk. Let Didi Gregorius walk as well. We don't need Didi Gregorius here. And I know this is not going to be the most popular decision that I'm going to say here. Consider Ellsbury's contract coming off the books in 2021. And you know what you can do with all of that money? Go get a starting pitcher. Get yourself an ace. Get Garrett Cole. You know Garrett Cole is going to be the ace of this organization if we do indeed sign him. If not, there's always a plan B. Plan B is Steven Strasburg, because you know that Steven Strasburg is going to opt out of his deal. And of course he will. Why? The guy was the MVP of the World Series. He's going to want to be in another team. He's going to want to be the ace. Of course, you know in Washington, Max Scherzer is the ace. He's going to want to be on a team to prove to himself that he can be an ace to any organization out there. That's your money right there. With that money that I just mentioned, with Chapman walking, Didi walking, get yourself an ace. This team has to be in a World Series. You look at Vegas right now. Vegas, the Yankees are the second best odds to being in the World Series next year. Of course, who's going to be number one? The Houston Astros. Because you expect the Houston Astros to be great next season. So you need to compete with the Houston Astros. And you have to get an ace to make sure that you guys get into the World Series next year. That's really my take on the situation, guys. I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comments section. Of course, subscribe to the channel as always. And I will be back. Well, I'm not going to be back. I will be uploading Wrestling Observer Radio's review of the UFC this weekend. Also, I might come back on here, talk about the Canelo fight. Canelo Alvarez is going to be fighting. I'm probably not going to be doing a video late night. I'll probably do it the next morning. And then I'll more than likely talk about the New England Patriots. They got a big game this weekend against the Baltimore Ravens. So check that out. So until then, I am out. Deuces and love. Enjoy your weekend, people.